With this class, we're going to start the analysis of what is probably the most fertile but also the most complicated area of statistical analysis, namely that of dealing with numerical data. It is also one of the most exciting because it allows us to do all kinds of things, but also we need to make sure that the kind of things that we're going to do with them make sense and they're done properly. And even today, we're going to start looking at some of the things that can go wrong with even some of the basic methods for analyzing numerical data. Let me remind you first of all that numerical data are those that come from variables which are at the interval or ratio level. And they're called numerical because they are made up of real numbers, real observations, real measurements. And because of that, we can combine the values mathematically in an appropriate way. While if you're dealing with an ordinal variable, even situation where an ordinal variable has values which are number, as we've seen before, those numbers are not real numbers, they're more levels, and we cannot really combine them appropriately. But with numerical data, we can. So that means that we can do a whole bunch of number crunching, and we can combine by adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, and Lord knows what, whatever you want to do with them. But all these combinations and all this number crunching may not always be that useful or purposeful. And so what we need to do is we need to identify exactly what it is that we're doing and why, so that we can spend our time during this analysis and also reading the results of those analyses in a profitable way, in a way that actually will give us something back. So first thing is, as we're going to delve now into these numerical summaries, I want to warn you about not getting fooled by them. Okay, they can be very useful, no doubt about it. A lot of statistical analysis is based on that. But they also may be inappropriate, and that can become very, very dangerous. They may be there, some of them are just for tradition. People use some of these summaries because everybody else used to do it, or maybe because they used to be reported at a time when computers were not available, but they don't really provide a lot of information. And therefore, sometimes they may be quite unclear in what they're supposed to tell us. Now, there is two types of data that or two types of summaries that we're going to be looking at, because we need to summarize two different things when it comes to statistical analysis. The first one is the one that probably you're familiar with. We need to summarize the size of the data. How big are the numbers that we're getting? Are we talking about something which is in the hundreds, in the thousands, in the small scale, or what is it? So we'd like to come up with some kind of summary number that gives an order of magnitude for the information that we're collecting. And this has already been done. We've already seen how that is done with things like the median and the mode, and those can still be used for numerical data, as we've seen before. But right now it's very important to look also at the variability of the data, and this is going to be given by things like the range, the quartiles, and other things that we're going to be seeing soon. So we need to pay attention to both sides of the coin, of the statistical coin. We need to summarize not just size but also the variability. So we're going to be looking at different kinds of summary statistics. The first type is the one that we're going to be looking in this class, and these are the ones that are called the measures of central tendency or measures of location, or simply and sometimes in a confused way, averages. We're going to be spending some time clarifying what that word means. But the other one is the measures of variability, also called measures of dispersion. So what we need to do is make sure that we are going to summarize both of them, and we're going to pay attention to both sides. In this class, we're going to be looking at the measures of central tendency or averages, and in the next class, we're going to be looking at measures of variability in actually two different ways.